Great. While we have covered courses from the UK, Ireland, or Australia, you guys wanted more information on Canada. So here we are. A strong economy, an excellent education system, and a natural beauty make Canada a top choice for anyone who wants to live a good life. And especially, it's very popular among the international students. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to University Living YouTube channel. You are watching ULTV Student Diaries. I'm Shifali Shrivastava, your study abroad buddy. The program we're going to discuss today helps students embark on a learning journey to transform themselves into a management expert. We're not going to discuss MBA. We're going to discuss business management. And to discuss further in detail on this course, we are joined by Savraj Dhingra from Toronto Metropolitan University, who's right now in India, who has just come here for summer break. So hi, Savraj, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am
Yeah.
doing well. Thank you so much. And as I was, we were discussing about the weather. So let's start with that question itself. Now, how are you liking India back? Now you're coming from Canada, and especially right now, when, the weather is also confused that is it winter? Is it summer? How is the experience so far?
No, honestly, it's not good. No. It's 40 degrees, man. Like, okay, when I came here, it was like about 22 degrees. It was all right. It was like, a hot day in Canada, in Toronto. But when I came back here, like next 2 days, it was 40 degrees. It's too much for me now. Like, yes, I've lived here for my whole life, but when I went there, it's peaceful. It's 10 degrees at max. It's nice. Yeah.
Great, great. So, how has been your journey so far in Canada? I believe it's gonna be a 2 year pretty soon. So, has the time passed like this, or you have felt that the time has passed slowly and gradually?
No, actually, I did. The last 8 months have gone by like this. Like it's been so quick. I didn't even realize when the whole semester passed by, and then because it's also like the studies with your own life. Like everything goes by so quick. You just don't understand how it goes by so quick. Yeah.
Great. And how's Canada? Like, is it like hoping like you manage like, okay, this is how Canada gonna be? Is it the same, or it's not meeting your expectation?
No, it's exactly what I expected and I applied for exactly. So yeah, it is a typical Western country that you would actually have watched in movies or something like that. It's exactly like that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Savraj, you must have given some English proficiency test. Like in Canada, there are multiple universities who take English test based on their university itself. They have their uni exams for these, proficiency tests. But did you took a uni test, or did you give IELTS or such exams?
No, I actually gave both IELTS and TOEFL, but I first gave TOEFL. My marks weren't enough for that, so I gave IELTS. So yeah, I believe my university accepts primarily both TOEFL and IELTS. I believe for TOEFL it's about 83 and plus score required, and for IELTS it's now 6.5 and more. So yeah, I mean, yeah, IELTS is pretty easy, no doubt.
So
Yeah.
now you have given TOEFL and IELTS both. You will be the right person to share the difference between the both exams, and why do you think one is better than the other?
Okay. TOEFL. Honestly, don't even remember how that was, but I just remember it was mainly like computer-based test, and it was like very one-dimensional, I would say, if that makes sense. But in IELTS, it was like it was more related to basics of the language, and it was easier, I would say. Yeah.
So, for example, if then is an aspiring student who wants to travel to abroad or for study purpose, maybe Canada, if we talk about in your case, so you will recommend IELTS over TOEFL?
Yes, any day. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. So, if I talk about that, okay, so business management is a 4 year long program in Canada. And the way, the confidence that you have while having this conversation that, okay, how I anticipated Canada, the same it is. This means that you started your study abroad journey long back. So when did you started planning your international study abroad journey, and what was your planning included? What all things were included in your planning?
So basically, I started like I, I was mentally there in Canada in 2019. So in 2019, I basically went to Canada as a tourist and just for fun with my family and all. And I was in that part of Toronto where Ryerson or TMU is right now. So when I went there in 2019, I saw the lifestyle. I was inspired by the lifestyle. I always wanted that lifestyle. So I went there and I was like, you know what? Let's live here. So yeah, and I saw the university as well over there. I was like, yeah, this is the perfect location and this is amazing. And I basically was, yeah, you know what? I wanna live this lifestyle.
Okay, so I'll say 2019 when you went there as a tourist. From
Yeah,
that point, this whole thing started. Okay, so when did you apply for uni? When did you started getting exams and everything?
yeah. I applied for the university during my 12th grade in 2021, I believe. Yeah, yeah, 2021. So yeah, applied for it and I got in pretty quickly because of whatever reason I got good grades. Yeah, so in 2021 I got accepted and I attended my first year online because of COVID. Then I had to like take the summer school off and then go back in fall, and I'm here back now.
Okay, so now because you started your career with the tourist program, it was not planned for you. We see that you didn't plan. Okay, you'll go for study abroad, but then this location clicked with you, and then you move forward with that. A lot of people think that studying abroad is a very expensive affair, which is not false in many cases. Of course, it's an expensive affair. So many people consider funding as well. So did you took any kind of education loan, or you funded your education study abroad with your own like in-house parents' money?
Yeah, I mean, parents' money, yes,
Parents.
but there are options as well. Like you could apply for scholarships through Ryerson if you have a certain amount of marks, like you have certain amount of GDP as well. Sorry, GPA, not GDP.
Right.
Sorry, GPA as well. So yeah, and it's not like you could do that only once before applying. Even when you are in the university, even like you are in the first, whether you're a first year student or a second year, you could still apply for various scholarship opportunities. Like there's about what 500 scholarship programs. I don't know, but it was like you can apply for as many as you like.
Great. So by any chance, did you also apply for any scholarship and you got that?
I recently, like a few days ago, I applied for it. I mean, obviously, I haven't got a response yet, so I'm still waiting for it. But yeah, I fit the requirements of it, so it should be good.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Makes sense. Now let's come to the main course that we have been discussing. It's a 4-year long program. Like business management, of course, it encapsulates a lot of things related to MBA and marketing. But I believe there is some slight difference to this course in from a regular BBA or an MBA. Correct?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. So what exactly does the course entail if we talk about in Canada? Because like the similar course is here in India as well. How the
Mhm.
course in India differs from the one which is in Canada, and what curriculum, if we talk about, like if you can give us a little bird eye view on the curriculum as well, that would be great.
Okay, so I'm a GMS major. So GMS is basically Global Management Studies. So there you are basically taught the ways to market yourself internationally. So that business is basically international business. My major is international business. So yeah, you basically learn how to market yourself in other countries and how you do it. I haven't necessarily obviously haven't taken bachelor's in India, so I really wouldn't know how the comparison is. But as far as I've heard from my cousins and all who have done bachelor's here, the difference between India and Canada mostly in studies is that in India you were taught how to do things. In Canada, they add up why to do things. So they basically add up the reason why and why are you basically doing this. So that's all.
That practical knowledge, and you just don't have to follow it what they are saying like
Exactly.
blindly. There's a proper logic behind. That's what gives you, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And if we talk about like GBA, you said global business management, so does this course only talk about like normal marketing, finances and all that, or does this also have a specialization by the course ends?
No, it is like the first 2 years, I believe, is the first 3 semesters, I believe, is the same for every business management student. But after that, you have specialized courses for your every major. So like there's majors for entrepreneurship, there's major for GMS, there's major for accounting, there's major for financing. So in your third or in your fourth semester onwards, you get specialized courses for whatever major you have.
Noted, noted. And what career opportunities one has after completing this course? Do someone needs to go for a master's program, or they're valuable like any other person to get a job in the markets?
I mean, you could. I mean, if your marks are decent enough, you could get a job anywhere. But I would say, bachelor's is it's pretty good. I would say to get a job anywhere in the world. But I mean, the more the degrees you have, the better the experience, and people will obviously come to you. So yeah, masters do help there. But yeah, I would say bachelor's is pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, so masters do help, but of course, with bachelor's course, which is 4 year long, it gives a very thorough understanding for anybody about the industry. And
Yeah.
the kind of logical reasoning that you mentioned in the answer, that means that they gives practical exposure, and there are industry experts who gonna address all the queries that one
Yes,
has.
especially in our university, in TMU, the co-op program is very popular. I think it's one of the best programs in all over Canada in our university co-op program. So basically, they give you a like in your fourth year, if you have a good amount of GPA, they give you a company to work with, and you make money in that, and you basically learn on the job what to do.
Okay, and that's a part of this program that you're pursuing,
Yes,
and
yes.
that starts with which semester?
I believe next fifth semester.
Fifth semester. Cool, cool. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, uh, I think I know a partial answer of this question that I'm going to ask, but still, I'm going to ask. Maybe you can add more value to this question. What factors were you considering when you selected Toronto Metropolitan University over any other university in Canada?
Yeah, primary reason is the location. Uh,
See,
yeah,
I knew the partial answer, but still.
I mean everyone says that. Like whoever has ever applied for this university, it's the location. It's the perfect place. If you're a city guy, like I've grown up like in Delhi. It's a city place, and I've always been the city guy. So if you're the city guy, it's perfect for you. So yeah, it has a lot. Like if you're living in downtown, you'd never be like not used to the resources around. Like there's always something around you to like make you feel happy or entertained. The amenities that the university offers, like there's a lot of like gyms and places to play and all sorts of things that they offer. I also believe there's that TMU has one of the best undergrad programs for business in Toronto. So yeah, that's one of the factors as well.
Okay, okay. So there's one question that I want to ask, and I think maybe the main reason is because you went to Canada in 2019. But did you consider any other country before Canada or after Canada when you visited, when you made up your mind that okay, I'm going to study abroad? So did you consider any other country, or was Canada was the only you know first love, first sight?
Yeah, mainly yes, but yeah, I did consider USA as well. I did consider UK as well. I consider Australia as well. But I applied for the TMU, and they got back to me first. So you know what? I said, okay, yes.
Okay, so because you got something which you were actually very head on, you were clear that you want to go for this particular university and this country, then that does make sense. That does make sense. Now, right now you have already explained that TMU location and everything is fantastic. Let's elaborate more on this. So what exactly is the location of TMU? How well it is placed, and how far is it from other places? How near is it to other places?
So basically, TMU is right at the Dundas Square. So it's basically that part of Toronto is considered like the busiest part, I would say, because it's right beside the Eaton Center, and it's like the hub of everything. And there's multiple places to eat there, a lot of job opportunities as well there, like a lot of clothing brands. It's like a whole supermarket, super mall. Yeah, I would say that. And commute to there is not like if you're in downtown again, if you're in downtown, the commute is not hard at all. Like this, if you take a subway, the subway will take you anywhere. There's streetcars that go from anywhere. Like you're blessed if you're in downtown.
Great, great. Now, as you mentioned that TMU has the best undergrad courses in Canada, we talk about. Now with these courses, a lot of clubs and such unions also come into picture. So what kind of clubs and extracurricular activities TMU offers for student? How does it affect their career growth plan?
Well, there's a lot of clubs like for university. I'm not sure all of them, but there's a lot. Like there, I remember there's clubs for robotics. There's clubs for science. There's clubs for business, like different extracurricular activities. Believe it or not, there's club for Formula One racing. It's crazy. There's my personal favorite. There's clubs for soccer or football as well. So yeah, we host tournaments every month to for people to play and get rid of the pressure of exams and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of extracurricular activities there.
Great. And does this clubs also help with the networking part, which later on results into, a good career growth?
Yes, there's one club that I surely will be a part of soon. It's the GMSA club, so it's basically related to my major. So in that, basically, they do the networking with other companies. They talk to other companies for promotional and things like that. And so yeah, that is very good for your portfolio to get a job later on. So yeah, things like that you will find in clubs and all. Yeah.
Great, great. Now I have another question that's, that you're living in a PBSC right now. You're living with Harrington Housing, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of people think that, okay, before they fly out, it's, I'll let me fly out, and once I land in that country, then I'll figure out my accommodation. Do you recommend such? And if not, that then do you recommend apartments over PBSA, or what's your experience so far with apartments and PBSAs?
Okay, so
Pretty
the
sure your
main
friends might be living in apartments as well.
yes, yes, yes. So if you're flying out there for the first time and you don't know anyone around you and you don't have like a lot of help, just like I did, I would suggest you to go with a university or like something affiliated with a student accommodation because it is easier for you to settle in because mainly like all of the student accommodation places are furnished beforehand, so you have all the beds and all in place already. Problem with apartments and all is if you don't know a place around or you don't know anyone around, you don't have any place to drop off your luggage. So you would like be stranded in a place with not a furnished home. You don't have a bed to sleep on that same night. So yeah, if you don't have a foundation laid off already in that country, I would suggest you to go for a student accommodation place.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So when did you book your accommodation?
I booked it in. I actually went for. I first applied for the student accommodation that's affiliated by the university,
Yeah, yeah.
but then I got waitlisted. I was like 821 in the waitlist. I was like, no, I'm not gonna get that. So you
Right.
know what? Let me just book another accommodation with university living. So I like, yeah, let me do that because I don't want to be stranded in another
Yeah,
country without.
everyone wants uni homes, but the challenge with uni homes is that there are so many students to accommodate, and with the current accommodation crisis, that is also increasing day by day. So
Exactly. Like I saw a few rooms in university living, and I was like, "There's only a few left." It was like about what June, and I was about to go in September, and everything was booked till
yeah,
September. From September, I was like, "Okay, I have to book it really quick." Yeah.
right, right, makes sense. You still, make the decision on the right time. Of course, with current accommodation crisis, it's very, it's recommended to book as early as possible because good rooms and the best deals get, gone up in a quick seconds. So that's there. Now, I would like to know, Savraj, how this journey so far of being an international student has affected you personally. Do you feel that you have grown as a person? Has your personality grown, or do you think like, okay, I'm the same person that I was earlier?
No, no, no. Absolutely, I've changed. Like when you go there and you live by your own and you have to manage your own expenses and your own account, it's different. Like you have to live your own life without your parents bothering you. It's different. It's very different. Like you mature as a person. You have to take decisions in life that you haven't taken before is life changing. I would say yes.
Right, right. Right now, while we are on expenses, and you mentioned the location of TMU, the location of the part you are living in is the busiest part of Toronto, is the most famous part of Toronto. So, what is the cost of living over there? If we talk about.
Very expensive. I don't know a specific number. It's very expensive. Wow. Yeah, I would not suggest you to live around that place. If you could commute from a different place, that would make it easier for you. But yeah, it's very it's very expensive. Yes.
So,
I
if you just want to give a figure number to this, would it be like 1,000 CAD apart from accommodation and others?
think more.
It will be more than that.
Yeah, for a month. Yeah, I think more. Yeah.
Okay, no problem, viewers. If you want information on this, don't worry. In the description box, we'll share the cost of living in Toronto so that you can go ahead and check it out. Now, we're almost done with our session, and thank you so much. You have been so kind and you've shared so much information. What advice would you recommend for anybody who's flying abroad, who is an aspiring student, regardless that they're going for Canada, UK, or Australia?
Okay. So for Canada, I can just say, or for Toronto, I can just say that my personal mistake that I made was spend a lot of money on food in the first month. So basically, when I came here, I was not like I did not know that the food was going to be that expensive. So I spent money. I was like, okay, yeah, this is generally the rate here. But you know what? If you have time and make sure that you find a meal plan beforehand and you don't overspend on ordering from DoorDash.
Right, right. Or you can use some coupons that are available at University Living, which can
Yes.
help you in ordering, at least your meals with a discounted rate. So,
Yeah.
okay, so I think the whole idea, whole crux is plan it, and of course, you need to be passionate about what you want to pursue. Because over here, what I can see in Savraj's detail, he was passionate, and that's how he were able to plan it out. He planned also, he was passionate about, and then all things fall into place like a proper puzzle piece. So, on this note, we'll be closing our session. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you found it useful. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday at 5 p.m. Stay tuned to our social media handles for more information. Thank you so much, Savraj, for joining us.